Hi everyone, my name is Damien and today I'm gonna talk about World of Tanks, one of the most popular games these days, online on PCs, and not only, is available on Xbox as far as I know now, and on PlayStation even maybe now, I can't remember. Obviously the game's been about for over 10 years now, and I've been playing this game since beta, so basically I never stopped. So I know that there's many videos already been made and many things been discussed, but I'm just trying to do the basics for anybody that is interested in watching for the moment. So what I will do for the moment is just discuss tanks functions. So here we go, we have a light tank, which is designed to spot the enemy and enable your team to do damage to them. Now, light tanks get more experience and more credits the more you spot. Obviously, whenever you can, you want to do the damage. There's two types of spotting, passive and active. But I do not recommend passive spotting unless you have a good crew with the camouflage skill and the camouflage net on. Otherwise, you'll just get spotted straight away and you'll simply die. So until you achieve your all your skills and get all your equipment, you probably would rather do active spotting, which basically is a little bit easier to avoid being killed. Now this is a good example of a map where you want to do when you want to do active spotting. I'm not going to just sit in a corner and look down on everything. I will try to spot for my team. Unfortunately, I'm playing with a 2 tier higher than myself, but for a spotter that doesn't matter as much. There we go, I've already spotted a couple of tanks. And I'm gonna hope for my team to do damage. Now unfortunately there is no one behind me, so nobody's actually helping me do damage. There is a tank over here. Can't exactly see him at the minute. Now unfortunately I do not have much spot done because nobody's shooting the targets that I'm spotting. Here we go, they started shooting the targets. Now on the left side you can see your spot damage, your own damage, and all the statistics, and whatever your armor is being bounced off your armor. Now I didn't do much on spot, I didn't do much damage, but we are leading, we are winning. Now I managed to spot another enemy and we nearly finished the game. So I had a little bit of an example how to do active spot. I would say game well done, even though I died. Now the next one we'll try a medium tanks. Medium tanks are pretty much all-round tanks which can do almost anything. You can support the heavy tanks, light tanks, you can spot, you can attack. I would say that medium tanks are probably the most important tanks in the game, if you ask me. So let's choose one. I'm choosing 6 tier tanks. Of course, when you're starting the game, for all those ones that haven't played yet, when you start the game, you only have first tier, possibly second tier if they give you some sort of commemorative premium tanks. It takes a while to get your crew up to date, but the research is going quite quick, up to 5th tier, I would say. When you get to the fifth level of your tank, it slows down a little bit because you need more and more experience to get there. Now we got the medium tank here. This is a premium tank called Rudy, based on Polish series that's been going on for years about the Second World War crew tank. It's basically T-34 tank, but in this case it's done into a premium. Now on this map, as a medium tank, I'm gonna go to the right hand side. I'm gonna support tanks on that side. It's usually quite busy down there with enemy tanks. So we want to stop them from coming in near our artillery. It doesn't look like anybody wants to come and help me. It looks like I'm gonna be just me and P-43. By the look of things, everybody decided to go to town. They must be feeling safer down there. Unfortunately, not everyone always wants to risk. But unfortunately, you have to do what you have to do in this game to win. If you don't come here, that's just gonna make it worse. We have 2 artilleries in this battle, so I'm gonna try to avoid them. We don't have a spotter, which unfortunately is not good because for the medium tank it's a little bit harder to spot the target. But I'm gonna go forward anyway. I'm not the one that likes to camp and wait, really. So I'll just go forward. Now the artillery already trying to get me, which is not good. Ooh, we got a heavy tank on this side, that's surprising. We need to kill that tank up here. That will help us, because they won't be able to spot us so easily. And now I died. Unfortunately, the team wasn't very good. Everybody's dying too fast. 5th minute of the game, everybody's dead already. Not a very good game. Now, sorry. Now, on the next one, I would like to show you heavy tanks. As you can imagine, heavy tanks are designed to take damage and fight on the front lines. Let me grab something that will allow me to show you the maximum potential. Another Russian tank, KV-85, pretty good tank if you ask me in the game. See, the only problem with this tank is it doesn't have a very good hold down, which means you can't lower your gun or put a gun up high. It's a very small angle, which means that if you are on a little tiny hill, you will not be able to lower your gun on the target sometimes. So you have to make sure you're pretty much on the flat surface, or you're aiming at the right time, at the right angle. Otherwise, all is going to happen, you're just going to get hit and you're not going to be able to do anything. Again, I'm forced to play against 2 tiers higher than mine. It's not going to be easy. But I'm an experienced player, so I should manage to do at least decent. Because I'm quite small tier in this battle, I'm not going to push forward, because I'm not going to be able to withstand for long over there, so I'm just going to try to support them. There we go, first victim of mine. Now we have another tank trying to come out. Now I've got spotted, which means I'm probably gonna get shot in a second. Now, as you can see on the right hand side, we already lost all our tanks, so I'm gonna go back and defend our base. Now obviously there's two ways of winning: killing all the enemies or capture the base. As I mentioned before, there is an example here. You can see I'm aiming right in the air, and the reason is because I'm on a slight angle already. I can't lower the gun low enough, so if someone come out now, I wouldn't be able to shoot him. So you need to make sure when you play that you can see your targets. Well, another lost battle. There's not much I can do here now. It's impossible to help them. And lost again. Now let's go and cover quickly tank destroyers. As you can imagine, tank destroyers are usually better armored and have more penetration available, and they do more damage usually. But the purpose of tank destroyer is usually just to sit at the back, somewhere in the bush, and hit the targets that everybody else spot. Of course, you don't have to stay at the back if you don't want to, but I would not recommend going too forward, because you're just gonna get spotted and shot from every single direction. You won't even know what hit you. Now let me find some tank destroyers. Well, let's just take Hellcat American tank destroyer, 7th tier, again premium tank. Now premium tanks will allow you to get more credits and more experience for your crew, which is quite handy, but the crew is obviously designed only for the nation that you have it for, only for one nation. And also, if you have tank destroyer, the crew will be maximized performance only on tank destroyers. If you put it on any other tank, it will not be as efficient. It will go down in efficiency to 75% or even up to 50% if it's not compatible. You can change all that. You can change crews from one tank to another if you want to, but it will cost you the credits, and then you have to top them up again to 100% with experience. Now, like I said before, tank destroyers are usually designed to stay at the back, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go on the left hand side and sit in the bush. Put my camouflage on. Like I mentioned before, my crew on this tank has got camouflage skills and also camouflage net, as you can see here at the bottom. Also I have binoculars so I can see further and spot the enemy faster. And now we're gonna lose all the artillery, I think, almost, because they got spotted. Normally, I don't play much on tank destroyers. I find personally a little bit boring and waiting game. I would rather be more active in the battle. It's more fun. But like I mentioned before, if I go forward right now, I'll probably just gonna die. But I've noticed that they might need my help on the other side, so I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go on the other side and support some of my heavy tanks. They look like they could use my help. I've got one of them. I know there is another one there. Can't quite see him, so I'm gonna try to go higher. And there is another one. So far, decent battle. I'm happy. It's quite good. So as you saw, the purpose of that sort of tank, which is tank destroyer, it's mainly to stay at the back and help your teammates when they get attacked. It's very important to find yourself a decent position. And this is pretty much the end. Well done. Now the last but not the least, we have artillery, which a lot of people using a bit less these days. The artillery was nerfed over the years because it was too powerful and it was affecting the game too much. But nevertheless, on some of the maps you really do need them, because some of the maps, if you don't have it, it's hard to win. So let me grab artillery now. I'm actually gonna grab a 10th tier, the highest tier. That's your goal, to research all your tanks to the 10th level. As you can see at the bottom, it says it may take longer for SPGs to find the battle than for other vehicle types, and that's because they're trying to discourage usage of artilleries a little bit, and at the same time you only allow 3 in the battle, so there is a limit. You cannot create platoon with artilleries, and platoon itself can be only created with 3 people. As you can see, the graphics are quite nice. I mean, this is pretty much on maximum graphics, but it is only SD version. I tend to play on SD version. I don't play on HD version because it's just using so much power, so much GPU, that the game does not work exactly fluid on my computer on HD version. Personally, I don't mind playing on SD. It's still a very decent picture. As you can see, there is 3 artilleries on both sides. This is typical 10 tier only battle. Let's do it. Again, this type of tank, well, you can't really call it a tank, it is artillery, so you sit at the back, somewhere in the bush, somewhere where nobody can see you, but at the same time you want to make sure that there is no obstacle in your way. Now when you play artillery you have a bird's view. Usually you can switch to a normal view, but you don't want to do that if you don't have to. Maybe when the target is very close, then you can switch to a tank view. Much slower reload on that sort of tank, on the artillery. The good thing is you can do splash damage, which means you can hit 2-3 tanks if they're close to each other. Now I shot the blind shot right now and I actually hit him, which is good. There he is. Now as you can see, me and another artillery cooperating very well here, destroying all the tanks that are trying to come on that side. You always want to make sure you kill the tanks, the fast tanks first, so they don't come and get you, because once you get spotted the chances are you're not going to survive for long. And unfortunately one of them got too close to us, and once that happens there's not much chance for survival. Well, this was my first out of probably many films that I'll make about World of Tanks, one of my favorite games. Quick introductions to all the tanks and functions. Thank you very much, I hope you had fun. I would like to hear comments and questions from you. At some point I might start live streaming, so I do invite everyone. Thank you very much and have fun playing it and have fun watching it.